all the tables around us were set, so we were doing this in front of everyone.
We were not going to pull out a camera.
I know. I felt very awkward at that moment. I'm like, normally I don't care if people look at us when we pull out a camera, but at that point I'm like, I can't.
Nope.
I can't pull out a camera and record this meal. It is day 8 and we are having dinner at Remy. We have never eaten here before. It is the adult-only restaurant on the Disney Dream and the Disney Fantasy, and this is already quite the experience, and we just got set down.
Yeah. So the first thing that happened was we had a drink made tableside for us as a gift. That is, it has some Absolute vodka, some Grand Marnier, and then some champagne with a little pixie dust on top. And it's very good. And then they brought out the canapés.
Canapés. So one is a cauliflower puree in a shell, and then the other one is some sort of cheese. So, do you want to try the cauliflower one first?
Yeah, and then she also showed us the sourdough bread for our next course.
Oh, that looks phenomenal. Kind of like a cauliflower soup in a shell. It's tasty.
Very good.
It was definitely stronger than the cauliflower soup. Same shell, but it had like a thick cream, almost like a cream cheese, and then a shaved, really nice cheese on top. It was fantastic. I'm excited for round 2.
Me too.
So we've been here for almost an hour and haven't even gotten the wine list yet. I'm a little bit disappointed, to be honest.
We'll see how this goes.
We'll see how it goes. Still no wine list, but we did get a complimentary amuse-bouche from the chef, which is some sort of foie gras mousse.
It is very good. It's like a little cloud.
Finally got the wine menu. Haven't ordered anything. They just disappear around here. We did get a little plate with 3 butters. There's a seaweed butter, there's a roasted red pepper butter, and then there's a plain butter that's unsalted, and then a little thing of salt, and then 2 pieces of bread.
The roasted red pepper, I felt like, was very good. The seaweed was not. I did not enjoy that. It tasted a little too earthy for me.
I'm trying to brush off my annoyance on the service so far, and then hopefully have a wonderful meal. The maitre d' happened to come by and just ask how things were going, and I said a little slow, and he seems to have gotten it back on track. So we have wine, we have our first course, everything is
fantastic.
It's amazing. So the food is wonderful. The first course is all about tomatoes. So there's a little triangle of tomato goodness, some sort of ketchup on top.
Which sounds weird, but
it's wonderful. We've got a homemade focaccia that you kind of tear off little pieces of and you dip in a tomato vinaigrette, and then take a little sip of tomato water. Super refreshing. Really good.
So we just had, for the second course, it was like a stone crab
Dome?
thing. It was delicious.
It was wonderful, yeah.
And then they just brought us a lobster dish, and so it's got like lobster claw, and then a potato and lobster ravioli. And he said that the chef, his father used to always serve lobster and potato in some form or fashion, so that's always been on their menu, which I think is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. And then they drizzled some lobster bisque over all 3.
Yes.
It looks wonderful. I'm sure it is. Everything has so far tasted very good.
Yes.
Course number 4 in the books. It was a wonderful pigeon course. What did you think?
Who would have thought that one would like pigeon?
I mean,
It's delicious.
it was in this pastry shell, and it was different layers. There was the pigeon breast, there was foie gras, there was spinach, there was
Prosciutto, right?
prosciutto in there,
Yeah.
and then some sauce that just pulled it all together wonderfully well. Cheese course, which was optional, was nice. Nothing fancy, but the cheeses were good. And we got the dessert course. They actually ended up giving Leslie a celebration cake because her birthday was last week, which was lovely.
It was nice.
It was the best dessert of the bunch. There were a few little small bites that I guess normally come out. So the tasting menu, there are 2 to choose from. There's a French menu and an American menu. They're both $135 per person. And then you can add on wine pairings for $135 per person on top of that, or you can just, I mean, in theory, order a glass of wine or a bottle of wine or a cocktail if you can, get the sommelier over here. But I'm not bitter. Anyway, everyone else was lovely, but the sommelier was, he had an attitude the rest of the night, so not our favorite. But everyone else was lovely. The food was great. Not sure if I'd be back, but I'm looking forward to Palo. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Palo as well. Yeah, I don't know. It was a rough start. Our server was great once things got going. Sommelier should work on the ship, but that is what it is. But yeah, everything else was wonderful. I'm not sure that it's $135 per person worthy. That's where I kind of stand.
Yep, no, I agree. Okay, we're gonna finish up here and go chill in the room, I think. Greetings from Ålesund, Norway. See the Disney Dream back here. We just got off. There are 3 ships in port. We don't have any sort of tours today. We originally scheduled a walking tour, but decided to cancel it and explore the town on our own, which we're pretty excited to do. So no hard times. Looks like a very walkable city or town, and that's nice. And we don't have to rely on someone else's transportation to get us back to the all aboard time.
If you can't tell by what we're wearing, it is much warmer today.
It is.
And I love it.
It is. One thing about this trip, we have crossed so many time zones. Can't keep track of what time it is. So we crossed 5 time zones coming over, then another one going to France, then 2 more going backwards the other direction to Iceland, then 2 more going backwards the other direction to Norway. So it's been an amazing trip, but I'm ready to get to one solid time zone and just chill for a little bit. All right, let's go explore. So the first thing that we're gonna do is check out the Axla viewpoint. Not sure if that's how you say that, but it is the staircase up to the top of this giant hill that you can see the entire town of Ålesund. And the climb to just get to the stairs is already vexing. Oh, here we go.
That is the goal.
All right, 418 steps, and we are 82 in. However, the views are spectacular. Oh my gosh. Good?
Yeah, we're good. Come on. Come on. All right, so we just hit step 161. We are, what, not quite halfway? This is beautiful already, so I can't wait to get to the top. If you're looking to plan your next magical vacation, please reach out to us over at Fantastical Vacations. We would love to help you. We plan Disney destinations, Universal cruise lines, and all-inclusive resorts.
All right, just past step 380. Almost there. All right, we made it. Disney Dream over here. The rest of Ålesund down there. It's pretty gorgeous.
It's pretty gorgeous. This is amazing. I wish that the fog would lift so that we could see it even a little bit better. A little more clear.
Yeah, it just rolled in out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Sun's starting to poke out now though.
Yeah, so maybe it'll lift off.
We waited around until the fog burned off, about
So
half
glad
hour,
we did.
45 minutes. Look at that.
So beautiful.
That is crazy. That's so cool.
It is so cool. So after we walk back down the million steps, I think we're just gonna like tour around the city and find some place to eat and shop. I don't know if there's gonna be a whole lot open because it's Sunday, but anyway, we're just gonna enjoy our day.
All right, we have made it down, finally, into the city center and gonna do a little shopping, I think.
Look at these cute little Norway troll horn things. Little decorations. And then I found a whole shelf of creepy little trolls over there. One of them is a Viking. There's a little Viking troll. Aiden keeps looking at these trolls. I think if he gets a troll, he should get a Viking troll because it's cute. Bubble o'clock.
Something to remember Norway by?
Yes.
Lots of trolls. I thought about it. Ålesund is such a cool town to explore. They've got a ton of really cool buildings and shops. I love all these buildings they rebuilt on the water. There was a fire here that destroyed the entire city, and so they had to rebuild everything, and they did a really good job.
It's so cute. I love the architecture of all of the buildings, and it's crazy to think, so it was like January 23rd of 1904, I think is what I read, that the entire city burned down. Like there was 200 buildings left, but most of it was just demolished, and so they've completely rebuilt it. And in I think I read a sign back there that said in 2017 it was voted the prettiest city in Norway. So I thought that was kind of cool.
So I think we're getting a little hungry, scoping out some places to eat. It looks like there's a fish and chips stand over here that gets wonderful reviews, although there's a long line. There's also a pizza place over here, and we heard, ironically, the pizza in Norway was pretty good. So
I always like pizza.
I do, and that has a place to sit down. We may check that out. Pizza place is closed. Next. All right, so we have failed miserably in getting lunch. I think part of the problem is that we're here on a Sunday and a lot of restaurants are closed, and then part of the problem is that a lot of the restaurants don't open until later in the afternoon for some odd reason, which is strange. So we waited around until 2 for a supposedly a really good pizza joint, and it apparently opens at 3. So Yelp was wrong, or they just changed their hours, but we figured that out after we waited around till 2. And then we went across the way to another restaurant that looked like it had good reviews called Bro, and when we got in, it wasn't Bro, it was some other bar, and they only had mainly drinks with a couple of appetizers, so that didn't work. So then we went to the fish and chip stand. We're just gonna be like, okay, let's do that. Has good reviews, and the line there was just crazy. I mean, we got in it for a minute, and then after standing there for 4 or 5 minutes, we didn't move. So that was gonna take a while. So we're just getting back on the ship, and we're gonna eat there.
What a failure.
Yeah, what a failure. But
I really wanted that pizza.
the pizza did look good, but I'm not waiting around for another 45 minutes for that thing to open and then order it. Then I don't understand, if you're making a ton of your business off of cruise ship passengers, why would you wait until 3 p.m. to open? Anyway. Okay. Tonight has been eventful. We're back in the room.
We were going to take you with us to Palo.
We were.
However,
I planned to do a whole review. We were going to record the experience and everything, but it got awkward super fast. So rewind to the Remy dining experience, and we had a bit of a challenging time with our sommelier there. He ignored us and then was very curt with us, and then just downright rude, to be honest with you. And so we weren't going to say anything, but then we talked to another couple of passengers that happened to be podcast listeners, and they had the same experience with him. So we said, you know what, we should probably let somebody know.
So we reported at guest services, and then we arrived to Palo, and we're sitting there, and the maitre d' from Remy comes over, and we were like, oh, and he wanted a little bit more information, which was nice.
That's fine.
I mean,
yeah.
I was glad the follow-up, the follow-through, because honestly, whenever we went to guest services, it was jotted down on a piece of paper, so I didn't really know if it was going to get to anybody. And
it did. They take it seriously. It's good to know they actually take complaints seriously.
Yeah.
So anyway, the maitre d' offered us his personal apologies after, he asked what exactly happened. We told him and everything, and then he offered us a glass of Prosecco. We're like, that's not necessary.
No,
we just wanted somebody to know, but he insisted, and so that's we thought it was over. So we ordered our wine from the Palo sommelier, who, by the way, is very nice, very exceptional. Yes. And then ordered our meals from there, and then we look up, and the Remy sommelier is standing at our table, and we're like, oh God.
And what's funny is that I said, I really hope he doesn't send the sommelier over.
I'm like, there's no way. That would be so awkward. There's no way they're going to do that. They totally did.
So awkward.
I'm like, great. Now the Remy sommelier has ruined 2 meals for us now.
I mean, he didn't. ruin it.
He didn't ruin it, but
it was
definitely made it super
definitely
awkward.
was uncomfortable for the first little bit. So anyway, he apologized. It was very much like whenever you send your child over to apologize for taking somebody's ball away.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't
Or
really
you get in a fight and you're
feel-
like, you guys shake hands and
I don't feel like it was a legit apology. But what's here nor there.
Yeah, all the tables around us were set, so we were doing this in front of everyone.
We
and
were
so,
not going to pull out a camera.
I know. I felt very awkward at that moment. I'm like, normally I don't care if people look at us when we pull out a camera, but at that point I'm like, I can't.
Nope.
I can't pull out a camera and record this meal. We did take pictures. The meal was fabulous. The waitress, Sophia, was fabulous.
Oh, she was
the
wonderful.
sommelier was fabulous.
Yes.
The wine was fabulous. So we got
I'm
two
sticking
appetizers.
with Palo forever.
100%. We got two appetizers. We got the calamari and the burrata caprese salad thing. They were both fabulous. We got two pizzas. So one was like a basic cheese pizza, but it had the what kind of ham was that? Prosciutto, I guess. And then like a burrata cheese on top of it, which was amazing. Then we got the mushroom one, which had mushroom and arugula on top, and it was just, they were all so good. And then we got the chocolate
Souffle.
I was gonna say lava cake, but yeah, that's better. That's a better word. The souffle, and it was fabulous. Like, it was all fabulous, so good.
And the wine was wonderful.
And the wine was wonderful, and it was half the price of Remy, and it was such a better experience than Remy, even considering we had to stare down our sommelier from our bad experience the other night. 100% we'll be back to Palo every single time we can. Probably won't be going back to Remy. It was just weird. We are going to finish packing, put our suitcases outside, and then tomorrow we get off the ship. So
Copenhagen.
Thanks so much for following along with us on this 10-night Northern European Disney dream journey. We've had an amazing time. Can't wait to take you on the next adventure.
So if you are liking these videos, please hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss the next one.
And we will see you on the next video.